Ready?
Go!
Scream!
The TLC reality series, 90 Day Fiancé, chronicles the journeys of couples who have either obtained or are in the process of applying for the coveted K-1 visa, which can only be granted to foreign fiancés of U.S. citizens. In just 3 months, the couples must figure out if their love is strong enough to withstand an array of legal and personal obstacles. 90 Day Fiancé first aired in January 2014 and is beloved by millions almost a decade later. The main show has 9 seasons and has spawned several spin-offs, such as 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, where the American partner moves to a foreign country instead of the other way around. 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, for the couples who are still talking online and have yet to apply for the K-1 visa. And 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, which follows the newlywed couples as they get used to the new stage in their relationship. 90 Day Universe is the widely accepted term for the franchise's many shows. Obtaining the K-1 visa is vital for these couples, as without it, the foreign fiancé can't live with their future spouse in the U.S. As part of the visa process, the couple signs documents declaring their intent to marry. If the foreign fiancé obtains the visa but hasn't tied the knot in 3 months, they must leave the country. It's also highly unlikely that they will be able to apply again. Language barriers, culture shocks, and less than welcoming friends and family are yet more possible problems that couples must overcome together. Many couples haven't known each other for very long, so their relationship will be put to the test in an experience that will either make them or break them. Born in September 1974, Darcey Silva is an exuberant TV personality, actress, designer, and entrepreneur who shot to fame on 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days. Nothing is known of her parents, Nancy and Mike Silva, but Darcey shares an incredibly close bond with her twin sister, Stacey. As young adults, the girls suffered the devastating loss of their brother to cancer, which brought them even closer. Darcey studied acting at New York City's Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute from 1998 to 2001. She is also an alumni of the University of Houston and Marshall University. In October 2010, she and Stacey co-founded House of 11, a clothing brand which sells beauty products, shoes, and home goods. The online store has a small but faithful customer base, and the twin sisters make sure to promote their brand at every opportunity by wearing its products on TV. Stacey and Darcey also have a production company named 11th Entertainment. They made their co-executive producing debut alongside their father Mike on White Tea, a 2013 comedy movie starring Jamal and Gerard Mixon. The twins also sang background vocals for one of the film's songs. In 2015, the production company partnered with Amvic Entertainment to make Soul Ties. Exploring their singing ambitions, Darcey and Stacey broke into the music industry in 2018 with the release of their debut single, the cheerful dance pop Lock Your Number. In 2019, they released a much more somber follow-up dedicated to their late brother, Always in My Heart. By now, Darcey was also a popular reality TV personality thanks to her appearances in Before the 90 Days. Other 90 Day spin-offs that Darcey has participated in include Pillow Talk, B90 Strikes Back, and Self-Quarantined. In June 2020, it was announced by Entertainment Weekly that the bubbly twins had landed their own reality show, Darcey and Stacey. The series follows their relationships, family, and love lives. In the same year, Darcey was nominated for Reality Star of 2020 at the People's Choice Awards. Darcey and her former husband, Frank Bullock, share 2 daughters named Aniko and Aspen. Not much is known about Aspen, but Aniko, who participated in the Miss Connecticut Teen USA beauty pageant in 2021, has thousands of followers on social media and is possibly looking to follow in her mother's footsteps. In June 2020, Darcey became engaged to Georgi Rusev, a dashing masseur and fitness model born in Bulgaria. The engagement was announced a few months later via an exclusive interview and photo shoot for People magazine. However, Darcey confirmed in February 2022 that the pair had broken things off. Mere days before the announcement, Darcey's cousin Shannon compared Georgie to the TV star's mysterious ex-husband Frank. In the episode of Darcey and Stacey, the two women listed the similarities between Frank and Georgie. Both are of Eastern European descent, love bodybuilding and working out at the gym, have the same height and body type, and are younger than Darcey. If that wasn't enough, the men even have the same hairstyle. In a confessional, Darcey shared more information about Frank, who is something of an enigma to the general public. The couple dated for 2 years before making things official in a beautiful New York City ceremony. Frank and Darcey were married for 8 years and had the aforementioned 2 daughters. In the beginning of our relationship, we talked about our dreams, our goals, our aspirations, and he did some, but lacked a lot of what it really mattered. Lacked the motivation at times financially to get ahead. Darcey explained. Although Darcey and Frank's exact timeline is somewhat ambiguous, they were together in 2010 when Darcey and Stacey filmed a pilot for the reality show, The Twin Life. Back then, the sisters lived in Mike's Connecticut abode with Frank, Stacey's husband, Goran, Aniko, and Aspen, and Stacey and Goran's sons, Parker and Mateo. In the pilot episode, Darcey described Frank as a new and up-and-coming rapper, whereas Frank called her his #1 fan. Interestingly, the two sisters divorced around the same time. Despite being unlucky in love, Darcey has never stopped trying to find her special someone. While filming for Before the 90 Days, she was in a relationship with Jesse Meester, who was later replaced by Tom Brooks. Darcey and Jesse's relationship became especially toxic, as the parties had polarizing personalities. However, things weren't always so bad between them. Jesse and Darcey met on a global dating website. She then visited Jesse in Amsterdam, and the trip went so well that she moved him into her house mere months later. But that was when things began going downhill. The last straw after dozens of petty squabbles came when Darcey criticized Jesse's way of cutting steak. After storming out of her house in front of Aniko and Aspen, Jesse eventually returned, but refused to speak to Darcey for the rest of the evening. Understandably, things didn't last long between them after that. After her split from Jesse, Darcey wasted no time in getting back out into the dating world. She traveled to the UK to meet Tom after flirting online for months. From the beginning, Tom was slightly put off by Darcey's intensity, and memorably refused to sleep in the same bed as her during the trip, despite booking the couple an Airbnb. The more emotional Darcey became, the more Tom withdrew emotionally. His disdain for Darcey became evident when she asked him to cancel their planned vacations to meet with Stacey in Albania. In Albania, Darcey began competing with Stacey, who was there with her fiancé, which didn't go down well with Tom at all. Tom later admitted that if they'd gone on their planned vacations, he probably would have proposed to Darcey. Instead, he gave her the key to his house. Following a romantic farewell at the airport, viewers speculated that Darcey and Tom's relationship might work out after all. But in the weeks to come, the stoic Englishman would continue to ignore Darcey whenever he felt like it. In the Season 3 finale of Before the 90 Days, Tom called Darcey out for blowing up his phone with dozens of texts and voicemails. Tom essentially broke things off by blaming his busy career, telling Darcey, "There's so much going on in terms of work, I feel like I can't give this love and time you want." In the show's tell-all episode, however, Darcey confessed that she and Tom were still together, but in a relationship limbo. Tom and Darcey fans lost all hope in the show's 4th season, when Stacey showed her twin sister photos of the Englishman in a romantic embrace with a glamorous blonde. The photos were the straw that broke the camel's back, but when Tom asked Darcey to meet in person to discuss something, she feared that he would break up with her on camera, as Jesse had done. Despite her reservations, the TV personality met Tom at a restaurant. In a cruel move, he owned up to seeing another woman, and toyed with Darcey's feelings by discussing the possibility of them fixing their dying relationship. At last, the Connecticut resident found the strength to break up from Tom, who told her before she'd left the restaurant that she'd put on weight. Darcey's perceived self-esteem issues have been a hot topic of discussion amongst fans of the 90 Day universe. It must be said that her physical transformation over the years has been one for the books. After numerous plastic surgery procedures and other tweaks, Darcey and Stacey are almost unrecognizable when you compare them to their original faces, which makes fans wonder if their unfortunate love lives are what caused them to undergo such drastic changes. Over the years, Darcey has had a rhinoplasty, veneers, breast implants, and Brazilian butt lift, to name a few. Her facial features and lips have also become considerably swollen. But despite fans' concerns, Darcey has shown no signs of stopping anytime soon. Part of what makes the 90-Day universe so entertaining is the often strange relationship between the show's participants. Without cast members such as Big Ed, who will go down in history for gifting his would-be spouse mouthwash and a toothbrush so she could improve her hygiene, the franchise wouldn't be half as amusing. However, the dysfunctionality of the 90-Day universe cast members has led to some shocking scandals and controversies since 2014. The relationship between Colt Johnson and Larissa dos Santos Lima, which played out during the 6th season of the main series, raised red flags from the start. In November 2018, Colt shared that Larissa had been arrested after one of their many arguments. He wrote, "The police came and knocked down the front door. They drew their guns on me and handcuffed me. In the end, Larissa was arrested, but Colt declined to press charges." Larissa was arrested yet again in January 2019 after another explosive argument that went too far. Police arrived at the couple's residence and noticed that Colt had injuries such as bloodied gums and a swollen lip. When they tracked down Larissa, the Brazilian brunette claimed to have been physically assaulted by Colt. Days after, she was taken into custody and held on $3,000 bail. Colt filed for divorce and refused to have any further dealings with her. Jorge Nava and Anfisa Arkhipchenko are another particularly memorable couple, whose turbulent relationship horrified viewers. In February 2018, Jorge was pulled over for an alleged traffic violation, and police found almost 300 pounds of marijuana in his car. The TV star pleaded guilty to marijuana possession and was sentenced to 2.5 years thanks to his lawyer, who had the original 24-year sentence reduced by making a plea deal. In the end, Jorge was released earlier than expected in May 2020. Last but not least, Jason Hitch was also arrested in early 2017, but for domestic violence. News outlets obtained the police report in which his then-wife, Cassia Tavares, claimed that Jason had grabbed her arm forcefully enough to leave a mark and shoved her off their bed. A frightened Cassia proceeded to dial 911. When officers arrived on the scene, Jason claimed that she'd accidentally fallen off the bed when she shifted the mattress. After refusing to sign a sworn statement, Jason was arrested. Cassia soon filed for divorce after realizing that her then-husband was unwilling to change, and has since described him as a mean man who has destroyed everything I felt for him. Although some couples of the 90-Day universe have less than happy endings, it's important to note that plenty of others are in healthy relationships and have since formed their own families. Colt and Larissa, Jorge and Anfisa, and Jason and Cassia are outliers compared to their former castmates, no matter how much entertainment they brought viewers in the last few years. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.